blinded by the lights. We came to shine here. Watch it look daytime in the night. We bring the vibes here. We full of life, you keep the change. Keep the change. They hate and say we went and changed. I say the same.
You know, when you grow up in a small town, your dreams and aspirations reflect your environment. You begin to think less of yourself because of the things around you. My story is pretty unique. I grew up thinking that my life was just meant for small things. Fortunately, I proved myself wrong. Fast forward to today, after the MTV show contract, hit songs, and millions of followers, I still will never forget where I came from. I grew up in Kent County, Maryland. Some people call it Kent County. It's my home. It's the start of my story and how I choose to give back to my people. This is my story.
Had some faith that who gon' hurt this. I naughty night you lullaby. I'm doing me, it's do or die. You must be blinded by the lights.
Alright, so this dude right here, this is John Queen. Growing up, he always had my back. When I set out to give back to my hometown, he was the first person I thought of. He runs a nonprofit called the Bayside Hoyas, and its impact in our community is deep.
This one we gonna hop out right here. Ah! Jeez. How many you want me to take? Yeah. And I can come back tomorrow for sure and get some as well. Bayside Hoyas, and Hoyas is an acronym, H.O.Y.A.S for helping our youth achieve success. This is a youth program that myself and childhood friends, Paul too and Pierre too, we're all three co-founders, decided in about 2013 that we wanted to do more in the community. We wanted to give back. We wanted to fill a void that was with a lot of children in poverty, the lack of activities, the lack of positive role models, the lack of access to resources, whether it's college admission trips, whether it's cultural trips, just things that we thought coming from the inner city of Washington, D.C., even though it was a lot of programs and a lot of things we could do, it wasn't any out here. So that was the main focus of what we were trying to do when we started the Bayside Hoyas.
Kent County, I think, is 14% African American, but it's 30–40% poor, right? So you can't assume white, maybe you got more privilege than black, but you're still poor. And you're down the dirt road. I mean, you're living on a farm or something and you are down the dirt road and there's no place to go and nothing to do.
We're on our way to Rock Hall now to help some families out, but Rock Hall is an area in Kent County, we call it the end of the earth because it's like they're their own town. They rarely come out of that section, and Rock Hall is just an entity of its own. It's a unique place, I'll just say that. So it's a lot of poverty down here, and it's also one of the places where the opioid and heroin epidemic and fentanyl epidemic kind of hits in Kent County. Rock Hall is one of those places where a lot of drug addicts go to get drugs and use drugs.
Well, it's a small town. There's not a lot of things to do. If you're underage, well, there's a lot of drinking going on, right? And if you're underage, that's what they say, The only thing to do is to have sex and do drugs. It's very bad. I know 3 people this summer who lost loved ones from different socioeconomic backgrounds. There was some bad stuff that came into town and people were dropping. It was awful.
I got 2 bags for you and I got a case of grapes.
Okay.
And I just say who need it. And if they say yes, they get it. If they say no, I pull off to the next part. And this section right here is a real poverty-stricken area. Like, they doing bad back here. It's because it's a culture shock when you come here from other places, especially for me coming from the inner cities of Washington, D.C. It's a shock. One of the things that's in your face, but it's undertones of it, is the racism. It's very prevalent here. And if anyone checks the research of the Eastern Shore, mainly Kent County, where the Underground Railroad actually traveled through, it's a lot of history of good and bad. But a lot of the bad has carried on for generations. So we have that line of racism. We also have a line of, not a line, it's a big pool of poverty here. This is a place where you either have or you don't. There's no gray area. A lot of people come from other places here to retire. So this county caters to a 65 and older demographic. And a lot of times the people who can retire are well-off white folks. So you have a whole demographic 40 and under that are not able to do anything with life. Even like sometimes you talk to some of the younger kids, they feel like, look, I feel defeated, I feel hopeless. It's nothing I can do. I deal with discrimination, racism, bullying. I'm in poverty. I'm not getting a quality education, no social activities. These were all voids that we've all seen as an issue. And then when you come here, you sit back and you don't want to just come in and put yourself in the fire. You kind of want to watch from the heat a little bit. While when it get warm, you want to see what's going on. But we've noticed, and this is how we excel as Hoyas, there were never any solutions that were actually being implemented to the people who had these concerns. So that's when we came in and filled that void. We went straight to the people who had these problems. You're in poverty? How can we help you? You have no transportation. How can we help you? Your education is poor. How can we help you? And we just try to make those things the basis or the foundation of the Bayside Hoyas program. What separates the Bayside Hoyas from a lot of other nonprofits that actually engage with the community as it pertains to youth, we're not strictly about the programming and checking off a box. A lot of times programs work their 9 to 5 or 8 to 4 job, and after they punch out, they're not concerned about the youth and what they're doing anymore. One of the things we are very engaged in, I remember our first year starting, and we had like 15, 16 kids in the program already. And they used to say, y'all funny, y'all cool, we like what y'all do, but y'all not gonna last. And we was like, why would you say we not gonna last? It was like, don't nothing last around here. Everybody will do a program and have us do some things for a year or two, but after that, they fade away. So we were like, and when I say we, myself and the 2 co-founders, Paul and Pierre, was like, that's not how we were raised. That's not the makeup of our DNA. If we say we with you, and you'll find out over time. So over time, it was a pleasure to us to watch us shift the attitude of the young men and women that joined our program to saying, hey, these men are of their word. These men genuinely care.
The Hoyas, for one, the Hoyas is family. The family. Everything. Family's everything. So Hoyas is family to me. Changed my life. When I first had my first son, John Queen picked me up. I used to fight all the time, used to get in a whole lot of trouble. I followed John Queen, the Hoyas, and I stopped getting out of trouble. I got a job. He helped me get into college. He tutored me and everything. He does everything. If I call him now, he'll come.
I think when we're talking about John and Paul and Pierre, they came in and what I love about them, besides their enthusiasm and everything else, is that they came in, they saw a group of kids and who thought, one of the rite of passage was to go end up in the detention center, you know, and they were like, oh no no no, what's cool is to come play basketball with me. It is to get you, it's not to go down that road, and they were able to pull that off and pull in these kids and then expand from the boys, and now they've got the girls coming on too, and they've gone into Queen Anne's County, and that's the positive thing that we all need. We all need.
Swag it on.